There was one rule I never broke. If I saw him, I went home. It didn't matter where I was going or how important it was. If I saw that man standing anywhere near me, I turned around. People always ask me why I didn't call the police sooner. The truth. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence. The same coffee shop, the same subway station, the same grocery store. Cities are crowded. You see the same faces. That's normal. Until it stopped feeling normal. Because every morning, at exactly 8:10, he was there, standing across the street, looking straight at me, never smiling, never waving, never saying a word, just watching. The first time, I convinced myself I was overthinking. The second time, I got nervous. By the third week, I stopped sleeping. I changed my route to work. 2 days later, he was waiting on the new route. That's when I realized this wasn't coincidence anymore. Someone was following me. I stopped going to my favorite coffee shop. I stopped taking the subway. I even started leaving 40 minutes earlier. It didn't matter. Somehow, he always found me. At first, he stayed far away, always across the street, always pretending not to look. But every time I glanced back, he was already watching. One afternoon, I decided to test him. Instead of walking home, I entered a bookstore. I stayed inside for almost an hour. When I finally walked outside, he was still there, standing exactly where he'd been before, not moving, not speaking, just waiting. I took out my phone, zoomed in, and took the first picture of him. That night, I couldn't stop looking at it. Something felt wrong. His face was hidden by the rain. The next morning, I showed the picture to my coworker. She looked confused. Then she asked me, "What man?" I stopped going to my favorite coffee shop. I stopped taking the subway. I even started leaving home 30 minutes earlier. For 3 days, I didn't see him. I finally thought it was over. On the fourth morning, I walked into a small bookstore somewhere I'd never been before. I picked up a novel, paid, walked outside, and froze. He was standing across the street, exactly where he could see me. But this time, he wasn't looking at me. He was looking behind me. I turned around. Nothing. When I looked back, he was gone. That was the first time I felt real fear. Not because he was following me, but because I had absolutely no idea how he always knew where I would be. I couldn't stop thinking about that bookstore. Why was he looking behind me? The next morning, I decided to test him. I left home an hour later. Then, I changed direction 3 different times. I even walked through streets I had never seen before. For almost an hour, nothing happened. I started smiling. Maybe I really was imagining everything. Then, I stopped at a crosswalk. A black SUV pulled up beside me. The passenger window never opened. The driver never looked at me. But something felt wrong. Then, I noticed him, the same man, standing on the opposite sidewalk. This time, he wasn't watching me. He was watching the SUV. The traffic light turned green. The SUV drove away. Only then did he finally look at me. Just for a second. Then he walked away. That was the first time I asked myself, what if he wasn't following me at all? The next morning, I made a decision. I wasn't going to run anymore. If he was watching me, I wanted answers. At exactly 8:10, I stood on the same corner, waiting. 5 minutes passed. Nothing. Then I saw him. The same black jacket, the same umbrella, standing across the street. For the first time, I walked toward him. He didn't move. He didn't run. He just waited. I crossed the street. 10 steps. 8. 5. Then he finally spoke. Don't. One word. Quiet. Calm. I stopped. What do you want from me? He looked past my shoulder, not at me, behind me. His expression changed. For the first time, he looked afraid. He whispered, "Go. Now." I turned around. A black SUV was slowly pulling over. When I looked back, he was already walking toward it. I didn't leave. I hid behind the bus stop. The black SUV stopped. The driver's window opened just a few inches. The man never stepped out. Daniel walked over. They spoke for less than 10 seconds. I couldn't hear a single word. Then the SUV drove away. Daniel stood there, watching it disappear. For a second, I thought he hadn't seen me. I was wrong. He turned and walked straight toward me. He stopped just a few feet away. For the first time, I saw his face clearly. He looked exhausted, like someone who hadn't slept in weeks. Then he said, "You need to stop looking for me. Start looking for him." Before I could ask what he meant, he turned and disappeared into the crowd. I couldn't stop thinking about what he said. Start looking for him. That night, I couldn't sleep. I opened every photo I had taken, every picture of Daniel, every video, every reflection. Then, I noticed something. In the background, there was always another man, different clothes, different places, but always the same face, standing just far enough away that I had never noticed him. Suddenly, everything made sense. Daniel had never been watching me. He'd been watching him. The next morning, the local news interrupted its regular program. Police had arrested a man connected to multiple stalking cases across the city. When they showed his picture, my hands started shaking. It was him, the man I had never noticed, not Daniel. 3 days later, I found a small white envelope inside my mailbox. No name, no return address. Inside, there was only one photograph. I was walking home. Daniel was standing across the street, watching. Between us, the other man was crossing the road. On the back, someone had written just 4 words. He never reached you.